So for this video, rather than show some gameplay like we usually do on this channel, I want to mix it up and talk about my history in Shadowverse, how I got here, and how I learned to appreciate and love Shadowverse. See, I've always liked card games. I played a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Hearthstone, and one day I was watching my favorite children's card game streamer, Amos, and he was doing a sponsor stream for Shadowverse. The first time I saw Shadowverse, I thought it looked super cool. You know, I liked the anime art style. And once I saw that there was a class for dragons, like a dragon class, I was sold. You know, I really like dragons, so I was like, okay, let's play this, let's try it out. And to start, I really liked the game. And back then there was no Steam client, so I had to play on an iPad. And then to stream the game, I had to like download an emulator and then play on it. And the emulator would crash all the time. It was the worst. But you know, I played the game because I really liked it at the start. Over time, they came out with new expansions and the Steam client, and those were great things. I think Darkness Evolved was super great, one of the best expansions ever. Love Olivia. And then Bahamut came out, and I found myself not enjoying the game as much anymore. There are a couple things with Shadowverse that I wished were different. Things like the mana system I wasn't a big fan of, or like how quick the games were, how strong some of the newer cards were. So I wasn't really enjoying the game too much. And then Tempest of the Gods came out, and I thought it would make the game better, but it sort of didn't, and sort of made it worse in a sense. So I took a break, and you know, I know it's hard for people to take breaks in this type of games, but I recommend it. If you're doing something that you're supposed to do for fun, such as playing a video game, and you find yourself not enjoying it, then perhaps you shouldn't do that, right? So taking breaks is good. Definitely take a break if you're not enjoying what you're supposed to be enjoying. So I took a break and I missed Wonderlands and probably like half of Star Force Legends. Now when I came back, Shadowverse was like a different place, and you know, Side Games, they came out and they said they were going to change their design philosophy. There was now monthly nerfs, there was going to be a whole new class, a new format and rotation, and all these things were great, and I truly think they made the game a lot better. But what changed the most that led me to enjoy Shadowverse and love it so much was not something that Side Games did or Shadowverse changed, but it was a change in my mindset towards the game. See, instead of disliking Shadowverse for not being what I wanted it to be, I learned to appreciate Shadowverse for what it is and what it always will be. Shadowverse is a mobile card game with a mana system and fast-paced games. And this is the way Shadowverse is designed, and it's what it always will be, and it's not something you should expect to change. See, in the past, when I lost to cards like D-Shift and, you know, Sword curving out like 2, 3, 4, those things used to annoy me, and I sort of wish they were different, right? But I understand the way Shadowverse is, why, you know, those things happen, and in the future, when they print cards such as And Sorcery, and you know, on-curve plays will always be like a big part of Shadowverse. Instead of being annoyed of those things, I understand, you know, why they exist, because Shadowverse is meant to be like that, and the games are meant to end quickly, right? And you don't have to like it, it's definitely not for everybody, but that's what Shadowverse is. And what Shadowverse does really, really well. The things that Shadowverse does well, it does incredibly well. As an example, Shadowverse has endless content. Every 3 months there's a new expansion, it's guaranteed. You don't have to worry of like, oh, is there gonna be funding for a new expansion? Will it happen? When will it happen? No, we know it's coming. Every 3 months there's a bunch of new cards, and every expansion has a mini expansion, and there's always gonna be, you know, nerfs happening and buffs. So Side Games, they do a great job of keeping Shadowverse fresh and exciting, and you know there's always gonna be new content. So if you ever find yourself not liking a meta, you can, you know, take a break, come back a week, a month, 3 months later, and things change, right? Things constantly change. There's always new things coming in, and I think that's great. That's one of the things that makes Shadowverse really appealing to me, is the constant change for it. And all the new things that we get, you know, the quality of them is really, really good. That's one of the things that Shadowverse does best. So every time we get a new expansion, you know there's gonna be a bunch of waifus. There's gonna be great characters with amazing art. You know, there's gonna be great voice acting. There's cool designs, and it's not perfect, you know, sometimes cards are too crazy, and some metas are not as fun as others, but for the most part, you know, every new expansion is going to be quality content, and if you like those things, then you know you're going to have a good time, right? Shadowverse also has these amazing collabs. Just recently we had One Punch Man, Fate, ReZero, we're gonna get Love Live happening. And you know, these collabs aren't for everybody, but there's enough of them out there that you'll find something you like. As an example, I really don't care about ReZero, so I'm not gonna buy any of those leaders, but I love Street Fighter. I genuinely love Street Fighter. And I know a lot of people don't like the Street Fighter characters in the game, but for me as a fan of Street Fighter, the fact that I can play as Ryu in Shadowverse is awesome. I absolutely love that, you know. So side games, they do a great job with the collabs. There's also, you know, endless Grand Prix always happening, and there's different formats you can play in. You could play Rotation, Unlimited, Take 2, Open 6. So there's a lot of different ways to play Shadowverse, and you know, there's always good new content happening at a steady pace. And I think that's really, really cool. Another thing that I love about Shadowverse, it's its community, because there's so many people playing the game, so many people are passionate about it, and you have a lot of different ways to interact with the community. So you can go on Twitter and see art from Fourth to Dark Dragoon, find deck lists from Japanese players. You can go on Reddit and see Imperial Dane's meta report, see some funny memes in there. You can go on Twitch and watch great streamers such as Akamaru Red and Kira Mango. You could join a Discord and have a nice place for discussions. If you want to be more competitive, you can play in tournaments. There's the SBO, there's, you know, things like Rage, community tournaments. You could join a team. There's a bunch of community things that are amazing. There's also big organizations that are into Shadowverse right now, such as Tempo Storm, Echo Fox, Panda Global, and it's amazing, right? Like, just seeing so many people love the game, and you have so many different ways to interact with them. Everyone's usually pretty chill, so I really, really love the Shadowverse community. For me personally, Shadowverse has had such a huge influence in my life, and a really positive one too. It was because of Shadowverse that I started to stream, and it was because of streaming Shadowverse that I became a Twitch partner, which is like, it's huge. I'm so proud of being a Twitch partner, I'm so happy about it. It's because of Shadowverse that I can now work as a caster in the SBO, which is also like a dream come true, and I also absolutely love it. Because of Shadowverse, I've met some great people, whether that be, you know, online, like some of my moderators, or people in person, such as NG, who I now consider like a lifelong friend who I never would have met if it wasn't for Shadowverse. So Shadowverse has done a lot of positive things in my life, and once I was able to change my mindset and really appreciate the game, it's been great. I really have enjoyed Shadowverse, and I truly love Shadowverse today. I can't wait for the next expansion. I can't wait to go stream tomorrow. I can't wait to, you know, see what Shadowverse has in store for us in the future. As a final note, I want to give a big thank you to my editor. Ever since we've had them edit our videos, I think the quality of them has really gone up. I think the YouTube channel has really improved a lot, and I hope you guys have really enjoyed the videos recently. If you guys are looking for an editor, you know, definitely check them out. They are amazing, and all I can really say is thank you. And I hope you guys enjoy the videos. Thank you guys so much for watching.